it's already March. And today is the 14th March of 2021. And it's a sunny day again. And today we are going to talk about study in Taiwan. There are several questions that we are going to ask our friends. Why did you choose your studies for undergraduate or maybe master's or a PhD in Taiwan? What was your cause and what was your reason? And then we're going to find out how to apply for school in Taiwan, and also how do you apply for scholarships, and what is the amount of money that you can use or you have to prepare for living in Taiwan. So check it out. This is going to be a good discussion. Why and what and how to continue your studies in Taiwan. Before we listen to other stories from my friends, let me tell you a little bit of my story, why I chose to continue my PhD studies in Taiwan. Okay, since I was a lecturer in Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia, one of my seniors, one of my vice rectors, who has really a great impact on my way of thinking, told me, Rihanna, don't just be happy with a master's degree, because at one point of life in the future, Indonesia will also make a regulation that the minimum requirement for a lecturer should be PhD. So if you still have like the passion, the energy to pursue your degree now, why don't you use your time, your effort, and energy to pursue your PhD? Okay, so I applied for so many scholarships, not only to Taiwan. I applied to Australia, I applied to UK, I also applied to America. But most of them only offered like a partial scholarship. Because I'm married and I have 3 children, I also need to think about living costs, because I'm planning to bring them also to the country where I'm going to continue my studies. So my dean, Mr. Ronald Sukwadi, told me that Bu Maria applied for a scholarship to CYCU in 2020, but all the preparations was already starting at 2019. Okay, so at that time, I asked my dean, is Taiwan a good choice to continue studies for like a PhD? And he said, of course, I'm a graduate from Taiwan, and also some of my colleagues also continue their studies here, and the living cost is not too high compared to Indonesia, so if you want to bring family here, it's okay. So then I started to apply for the university, and I applied for the MOE scholarship, and after some time, long story made short, I was approved to select a university in Taiwan. It was CYCU, Chung-Yuan Christian University, and I got a scholarship from MOE as a lecturer of a country from a South East Asia country. So that's my first story of how I chose Taiwan. First of all, the technology is good. The culture is Asian. 3, because the living cost here is much more lower than other countries like in Europe or America and Australia. So I'm considering about that constraint why I chose Taiwan.
Tomorrow.
So the next question is, what do you do? First of all, I advise you to check all the universities around Taiwan. There are like very good schools, private or even national schools. Well, I advise you to apply to them all. And then you can apply a scholarship through the university if it's a national university, but you can also apply to MOST and also MOE. Every year there's always like an opening for applications for scholarship in Taiwan, but you can also apply a scholarship, a full scholarship from the university. Usually like CYCU offers like full scholarships for students related to tuition fee in the education. It depends. So you have to check with the school and ask the admissions, especially the Office of International Affairs. So there's an opportunity you can get like a full scholarship from the university. So your tuition fee will be like paid by the university, but for living expenses, maybe for the stipend, each faculty, each school, or even each department has different regulations. So there comes to a question, how much do you need to continue your life as a student in Taiwan? Let's check it out and ask some of our friends. Actually, some of my friends, okay? We'll ask like from local opinion, from Taiwanese people, and also from Indonesian students.
One eternity later.
I think 3,000 a month is not enough in Taiwan, Taoyuan. I think maybe should have 200 a day is enough.
Okay, if you thought that 3,000 is enough for student, I think it's not really enough because 3,000 is only for paying the boarding house. So if you would like to give a scholarship, the government or the school might think a lot about how much the money that they give to the student. Maybe it's around 8,000 is enough if the student is cooked by his or herself. But if the student buying food outside, 8,000 just awesome. So to overcome that problem, the student must find some like part-time job, and then maybe in campus or outside. But if you like to work in outside, the student must have the working permit. So there's no problem in future.
So you have to think. Before I come here to Taiwan, I need like to prepare. Is my scholarship enough to pay for my living expenses, like for my dorm, for my room rent, if it's off-campus housing, and then for living costs, for food, for laundry, for buying books, for transportation? You need to think about that seriously.